This is Neural Newscast, bringing you stories from history, technology, and beyond.
Neural Newscast Global. I'm Andrew Lindbeck. Today is September 3rd, 2025. On this day in 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, formally ending the Revolutionary War and reshaping relations between Britain and the new United States. Here's a critical update from our breaking news desk. 15 people die in a devastating Lisbon funicular derailment. Emergency crews respond, and investigations are underway. Here's Sarah Wheaton with more.
15 people die and 18 are injured after a Lisbon funicular derails. Emergency services confirm the casualties and say rescuers work through the evening. The crash involves one of the city's iconic funiculars, a major draw for tourists. Images show the carriage off the rails on a steep, narrow street. Officials have not released the cause. Authorities secure the area and divert traffic in the historic center. Hospitals treat victims for trauma and fractures. City leaders pledge a full investigation and safety review of the funicular network. This is Sarah Wheaton for Neural Newscast.
International headlines coming up. Portugal declares a period of mourning after the Gloria funicular crash kills at least 15 and injures dozens in Lisbon. I'm joined by Monica Kellen.
Portugal mourns after a deadly crash on Lisbon's iconic funicular kills 15 people and injures dozens. The streetcar careens down a steep hill in the Beijing district and slams into a plaza, witnesses say. Emergency crews flood the scene, closing nearby streets and tunnels. Hospitals activate mass casualty protocols and appeal for blood donations. Authorities open a formal investigation into possible break or systems failure. Prime Minister Luis Montenegro calls it a national tragedy and pledges support for victims' families. The funicular, a major tourist draw, suspends operations pending safety inspections.
China hosts a lavish World War II victory parade with leaders from Russia and North Korea on display in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Cassandra Joyce is here with more details.
China hosts an elaborate World War II victory parade in Beijing as three leaders appear together. President Xi Jinping welcomes Russia's Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un to Tiananmen Square. The pageantry features troops, military bands, and historic war contingents. China marks the end of World War II and highlights its role in defeating fascism. The gathering underscores tightened ties among Beijing, Moscow, and Pyongyang amid strained relations with the West. Observers note the symbolism, wartime remembrance paired with present-day solidarity and power projection. She calls the ceremony a tribute to peace and sacrifice. This is Cassandra Joyce for Neural Newscast.
Now, let's cover the latest political moves. The Pentagon enforces a policy using medical diagnoses to remove transgender service members, prompting legal and rights concerns. Daniel Grove joins us with the latest.
The Pentagon enforces a policy that can remove transgender service members who are diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Advocates say the Air Force now uses medical records to separate some troops without full appeals or benefits. Military leaders argue the rule protects readiness and unit cohesion. Civil rights groups counter that it punishes troops for following prior guidance to seek diagnosis and care. This is part of a wider national debate over transgender service that divides lawmakers, veterans, and commanders. The Department of Defense says it applies standards uniformly. Critics say due process falls short.
A federal judge finds the Trump administration illegally canceled a Harvard funding award, a decision that could face appeals. Cassandra Joyce has more on this.
A federal judge rules President Donald Trump's administration illegally canceled a Harvard University funding award. The decision marks a legal win for Harvard but may not be the last word, as appeals remain possible. The case centers on executive authority over discretionary grants and the limits of abruptly reversing them. Supporters of the cancellation argue the government should police elite institutions and redirect funds. That is one perspective in a broader debate over federal oversight and academic autonomy. Critics call the move arbitrary and politically motivated. The ruling underscores ongoing tensions between universities and Trump's policies.
Let's take a look at world news. Fighting between Russia and Ukraine shows no sign of ending, with front lines and civilian suffering continuing across multiple regions. Daniel Grove is here with more details.
Russia and Ukraine show no sign of ending the war soon. Front lines remain active with daily shelling, drone strikes, and artillery duels from Kharkiv to Kherson. Peace talks stall as neither side shifts core demands. Moscow presses for territorial control. Kiev insists on full withdrawal and security guarantees. Military losses mount, infrastructure suffers, and civilians face blackouts and displacement. Western aid and sanctions continue, while Russia leans on domestic production and partners. The conflict hardens into a long, costly fight.
A look at jobs, markets, and money. About 30,000 homes were fitted with faulty insulation under government retrofit schemes, ministers now admit. Now, Ethan Wells joins us.
Ministers admit that about 30,000 homes received botched insulation under government-funded schemes. Officials document the scale for the first time, citing substandard work that leaves damp, drafts, or safety risks. The figure covers multiple retrofit programs aimed at cutting bills and emissions. The government says it is improving oversight, inspections, and contractor standards. Homeowners can seek assessments and repairs through complaints and warranty routes. Consumer groups urge faster redress, saying families need fixes, not promises, and clear guidance on costs and timelines.
Newsmax sues Fox News alleging antitrust violations and monopoly practices in conservative cable television distribution. Here's Cassandra Joyce with more.
Newsmax sues Fox News, alleging antitrust violations and a monopoly in conservative cable TV. The complaint says Fox uses exclusive deals and distribution leverage to shut out rivals. Newsmax argues viewers and advertisers lose choice and price competition. Fox calls the case meritless and vows to fight it. The lawsuit highlights tight control over carriage on major pay TV platforms. Legal experts say antitrust cases hinge on market definition and consumer harm. A court date is not set, but filings begin this month.
Stay tuned to NNC for unbiased daily news summaries. Subscribe and explore our archives at nnewscast.com. This is Neural Newscast.
A look at what's new in technology. French AI startup Mistral is reportedly close to a $14 billion valuation, signaling European AI ambitions. Kara Swift reports on this story.
French AI startup Mistral is reportedly nearing a $14 billion valuation. The two-year-old company competes with OpenAI and builds open-source language models. It also runs Le Chat, an AI chatbot tailored for European users. Mistral's founders hail from DeepMind and Meta, signaling deep technical roots. A deal at this scale would mark one of Europe's largest AI valuations. It could boost funding for open-source AI and strengthen Europe's hand in the global AI race.
Cloudflare says it blocked a record 11.5 terabit per second DDoS attack, protecting critical online services. Ethan Wells joins us with the latest.
Cloudflare blocks a record 11.5 terabit per second DDoS attack, keeping websites online under extreme pressure. The surge floods servers with junk traffic, like opening a fire hydrant on a garden hose. Engineers absorb and filter the deluge in real time. The attack peaks for less than a minute, yet equals 7,480 hours of HD video. At that scale, unprotected services crash instantly. The win matters for banks, hospitals, and retailers that rely on constant uptime. It shows internet defenses are catching up with massive botnets.
Apple is reportedly developing an AI-powered search engine to integrate with Siri and Safari, aiming to keep search inside its ecosystem. Benjamin Carter joins us with the latest.
Apple is reportedly building an AI-powered web search engine that plugs directly into Siri. The company also plans integration with Safari and Spotlight, putting smart answers a tap or voice command away. Analysts say this could challenge Perplexity and OpenAI by keeping search inside Apple's ecosystem. Users could get fast summaries, citations, and follow-up questions without jumping between apps. Analysts add it could boost privacy by processing more on-device. For Apple, it strengthens services revenue and deepens control over how iPhone users find information. This is Benjamin Carter for Neural Newscast.
Science shaping our understanding. The James Webb Space Telescope has observed a rare 5-galaxy merger in the early universe, offering insight on structure formation. Nathaniel Cohen reports on this story.
The James Webb Space Telescope spots an exceptionally rare crash of 5 young galaxies. Near-infrared images show the galaxies merging inside a single, massive halo in the early universe. The system likely takes shape just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. Webb's sharp vision reveals tidal streams, compressed gas, and newborn star clusters. Researchers say the merger could seed a future giant galaxy in a central supermassive black hole. NASA officials say it is like watching structure formation in real time.
Astronomers use a double lensing technique to study emission very close to a supermassive black hole's corona. Let's hear from Daniel Fletcher.
Astronomers confirm that millimeter wave radiation comes from right next to a supermassive black hole's core. An international team, led by Mattis Rybak of Leiden University, uses a rare double lensing effect as a natural zoom. Two aligned gravitational lenses magnify a distant galaxy's active nucleus. The data pinpoint emission within light days of the black hole's corona. The result sharpens models of how black holes feed and launch jets and guides future high-resolution observations. This is Daniel Fletcher for Neural Newscast.
Here's the latest on the environment. The European Union bans certain gel nail polishes containing HEMA across all member states, citing allergic reaction risks. I'm joined by Samuel Green.
The European Union bans certain gel nail polishes across all 27 member states. The move targets formulas containing the chemical HEMA, linked to allergic reactions and skin sensitization. Regulators say improper use and home curing raise exposure risks for consumers and salon workers. The restriction takes effect immediately under the EU's cosmetic safety rules. Manufacturers must reformulate products or stop sales in the bloc. Salons can use compliant gels and should follow strict curing and glove protocols to reduce harm. This is Samuel Green for Neural Newscast.
Updates from around the globe are next. A retired Army sergeant who survived severe war injuries is honored with full military rights at a North Carolina funeral. Sarah Wheaton is here with more details.
Retired Army Sergeant Michael Verardo receives full military honors at a North Carolina funeral. Verardo, gravely wounded by an improvised explosive device in Afghanistan, served with the 82nd Airborne Division. Family, fellow soldiers, and national leaders gather to salute his sacrifice and service. Mourners highlight his resilience during years of recovery and advocacy for wounded warriors. Speakers highlight his patriotism during years of recovery. The ceremony underscores the lasting cost of war for veterans and their families.
Here's today's entertainment news. Travis Kelce says introducing Taylor Swift as his fiancée leaves him giddy, fueling fan excitement over the engagement. Lydia Holmes is here with more details.
Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce says he felt giddy, introducing singer Taylor Swift as his fiancée during a public appearance. The moment, shared widely on social media, sparks a wave of congratulations and fan tributes. Kelce keeps other details light, offering no timeline for a wedding. Swift's team declines additional comment. Analysts note the couple's profile drives a surge in engagement online and merchandise searches. For now, fans are reading into brief posts and clips while the pair stays largely private.
Artist Rosalind Drexler, noted for work across pop art, theater, and television, has died at age 98. Turning to Stephen Summers for details.
Rosalind Drexler, a prolific artist and writer, dies at 98. She spans genres and decades. Drexler writes plays and novels and wins an Emmy for a Lily Tomlin TV special. She also paints, sculpts, and sings in nightclubs. Earlier in life, she wrestles professionally under a stage name. Her career bridges pop art, theater, and television, expanding what a modern American artist can be. Her legacy endures.
Now, for another important update. That concludes our roundup of today's headlines and features for NNC Daily News. For more, visit neuralnewscast.com.
You've been listening to Neural Newscast. AI-powered, human-reviewed. For past episodes, visit neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast blends real and AI-generated voices for fast, high-quality production. All content is AI-generated with human oversight, including fact-checking and review. While we aim for accuracy and neutrality, errors may occur. Verify critical details from trusted sources. Learn more at nnewscast.com.